What's new about our process in that time? What's changed? Surely there are some things going either way. I'm wondering if perhaps Judge Kane might care to weigh in and offer us some reflections upon some similarities and or differences in the process of these 116 years, Judge.
Well, there'd be no women. Sorry, Frank. The jurors would be here for a month, and the jurors who were sequestered would be commonly held at night in the courthouse. And where would Lizzie Borden be? Where would the defendant at the bar be? She wouldn't be seated at a chair, free to move around. She'd be in a cage. She would be in a cage, and that custom continued actually into the 1970s. And in Suffolk County, they had a cage. That's where the defendant stood as the case proceeded. And there were other differences, and one of the big differences was that there was 3 judges. 3. And that is a custom that goes back to the Supreme Judicial Court, which sat on the circuit, and they sat in murder cases with 3 judges. And that was continued when the Superior Court took jurisdiction over murder cases. 3 judges. And a fascinating question arises, how did they ever rule? And the truth of the matter is that at times, the Supreme Court, which was the court of last resort, would divide, and 3 judges would give different charges to the jury. And so the jurors became the rulers of the law and the determiners of the fact. It was a system that, in a sense, had as its idea a safeguard. One person could be arbitrary, 3 could muffle the whimsical qualities of one. So that was the idea. In a case, at that time, the verdict would be followed by automatically a death sentence by hanging. So those are some of the salient differences.
Judge, I know that these murders occurred in August, and the trial took place the following June. Well, that's 10 months.
Right.
And
Judge Russ would be very happy. We take about 3 years.
Well, that's right. Of course, there is great concern among judges and lawyers and people generally about the length of time that some of these cases take. What's changed? Why do we take so much more time?
The body. That cell back there, there's one cell. When I was a lawyer back in the 70s with Anthony Cruz and Bill Beauregard, John Coleman, Renee, that held a few people. There was 5, 10 people. Today, 25, 30. So the volume of crime has rapidly increased. The court's number, Superior Court's number, is not rapidly increased. It's really now 82, back a few years ago it was probably in the 60s. So there hasn't been a connection between resources and need. At least that's my justification.
And I thank you for that, Your Honor. I think we have an important development in this case, Your Honor.